Hi, this is Rick Dexter, W5RJD, and I hope you enjoy this video. So today, I'm going to show you a little trick on how to tune an antenna when you're by yourself. So most experienced hams know that when you have an antenna on the roof or out on the lawn or in a tree or wherever your antenna might be, you're going to want to tune it and adjust it in the actual location of where the antenna will be in operation, and that includes all the characteristics that you're going to have in that operation, like the coax length, the proximity to metal and other structures, and especially, and most importantly, the height above the ground, which can have a significant impact on the SWR of an antenna. If you're trying to tune it at 5 feet outside the shack and you move it up to the roof on a metal mast, the SWR is going to change entirely. But when the other end of the coax is in the shack where your antenna analyzer is, and your antenna is up on the roof, you're going back and forth quite a bit up and down a ladder, making little adjustments and checking the analyzer measurements, and that's not super efficient. So I'm going to show you this little trick I use to be able to take the analyzer with me out to the antenna while I'm doing the work. You're going to need a laptop or a desktop computer in the shack, an antenna analyzer that is capable of hooking up to the computer and displaying the antenna characteristics that you're interested in. And you'll also need a battery-powered wireless tablet, such as an iPad. You could probably use a phone if you're okay with that small screen. So I'm going to set my iPad aside, and I'm going to show you the antenna analyzer that I use. This is a RigExpert AA600. It runs standalone on batteries and can display information directly on the screen. So I'm going to turn it on and set it up to scan the SWR of the 40-meter band that I'm looking at. This is a sweep of the antenna with about 500 kc on each side of the band. Using a standalone display doesn't help, so I'm going to hook this analyzer up to my laptop. I'm going to plug in a USB cable to the bottom of the RigExpert, and then I'm going to turn it back on and put it into PC mode. I have this RigExpert attached to a 40-meter TAC antenna that I've been working on resonating today, so I don't need to touch the RigExpert anymore, so I'll set it aside. Now I'll run the software I downloaded that works with this unit. It's a program called AntScope and available from RigExpert. I've preset a couple of the parameters that I'm interested in, such as censoring the display at 7150 and setting up a 200 kilohertz spread, which allows me to see the amateur 40-meter band nicely in this area shown in gray. So I'm going to go ahead and scan the antenna. The SWR curve is looking fairly decent at this point, but I could probably do a little better. So I want to go to the other end of the coax up on the roof where the antenna is and make some adjustments. Well, the USB cable isn't quite long enough, so I can't take my laptop with me, but I can remotely access the laptop from the tablet wirelessly and take the tablet to the roof. So I'm going to show you how to set that up on a Windows PC, which doesn't require any software or services. You could do this with a Zoom session or a Mac OS, but on a PC, you're going to go and find the properties of my computer. I go into the Explorer, right-click on this PC and choose Properties. And then I'm going to select Remote Settings. And I'm going to tick the box that says Allow Remote Connections to this computer. And for purposes of what I'm doing, I don't need to check the security box. But if I don't have admin rights to the computer, I'm going to need to select users and add my user account to give it permission to connect. I happen to have admin rights to this computer, so I'm not worried about that. So once you've allowed these remote desktop connections, it's time to set up the tablet. You're going to need to download a remote desktop client. And this particular one I'm using is called RD Client, and it's downloadable from the App Store for free. They all work slightly different, but generally you need to add a remote desktop system by entering its PC name or its IP address into some sort of an add PC box. If you don't know how to find the IP address of the computer, you can Google that, and I'm sure you'll be able to find a video on it. I found using the IP address works best because you don't have to worry about having your network set up correctly to use a computer name. So I've preset a connection already to this laptop using the IP address, and I've saved it. So all I really need to do is click on what I've saved, and it will connect to the laptop, and it will remotely show the screen. Now I'm looking at the exact same screen I had on the desktop a moment ago, only it's on the iPad. So the mouse works. It's a little different, but you can move it around on the screen, and you can move it over to buttons, click on the buttons. For example, I could press this clear button to clear that scan that I made just a second ago, or I can go up and do another single scan and have it scan again. It does respond a little sluggishly, but it works well. I can also do continuous scans by moving the mouse over to the continuous scan and having it scan the antenna over and over again. This will be very useful on the roof, especially when I have this wireless tablet. There's no wires anywhere. It's connected to a keyboard tray that I can pull off and take the tablet with me. Oops, let me unlock it here. I can take the tablet with me and have the analyzer portable up on the roof when I'm adjusting my antenna and do whatever I need to do. So there you have it. I hope I've given you some helpful advice on how to tune your antenna when it's far away from your shack. Thank you for watching. This is Rick, W5RJD, and I hope you enjoyed this video.